Alright, so this is the first game against you, our Delver. I believe I was on the play. I did. I won the die roll and I did play first. Okay, so let's go through this. I kept this. Obviously, I didn't know who it was against. This is one of those hands where it sucks to have a Volcanic because, you know, Delver plays a ton of Wastelands, but this is certainly a keepable hand. First turn, I'm playing Strand because Wasteland. Pretty simple here. Force protection in case they had something else, but Meyer. Okay, so I could have forced here. I didn't want to because I had a plow, and I let that go, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So what I did here is that I'd never plow into days because, you know, it's just not worth it. I don't mind using my turn, and that was a perfect draw because now I can play that. I don't have to crack my fetch. I don't have to play Volcanic. And right here, I am just plowing that. I did have force backup in case they fought over that. Maybe that was the only creature they had, but so far, so good. Okay. I don't know if I forced this or not. I believe I didn't. I'm like, they don't have any cards in their graveyard. Obviously, they're probably going to build it up. This is one of those iffy choices where whether you wanted to force it or not, I believe I did not. I know I have a Council's Judgment. I got a Brainstorm. I can get some more cards, so I'm pretty sure I decided to let that go. Although, you know, depending on the person playing. Here, we're going to need to play the Volcanic Island, unfortunately, because I don't want to crack my fetch. Okay, so we got a lot of good stuff here. Next turn, we're definitely going to want this land because we're going to be playing around days. So we need that to play True-Name. Okay, Stoneforge is going to be great. This is great for removal. So here, if I was just looking at it right now, it might be something like Force of Will, Brainstorm. I don't remember exactly what I did. We'll find out. Or even just, you know, putting Brainstorm on top or, you know, not fetching. I don't think I did that. It might have happened, but I'm guessing it's one of these two cards. I kept Force of Will for protection. One force. And what was the other one? What did I put? Oh, the land. Okay. So what I actually did is I didn't fetch. Okay. So it's fine. Oh, there goes that, right? That's the one thing about every now and then that happens when you're playing just a splash one Volcanic. And now they get, yeah, preordained? Sure. See, it was a good thing I put that land back on top, or at least, you know, kept it around or something, because certainly going to need it. So, we got that there. We don't need to fetch because this is going to be a shuffle for us. They fought over that, so I decided to fight over it. Obviously kept True-Name. Getting Batterskull here. Nice little bolt. Okay, that's fine. Now this is the part where it's very troublesome, like, because Delver wants to strip you of your mana. They want to wasteland you. And I have a True-Name and a Council's Judgment, which are both perfect cards for this scenario. And if you don't draw a land, you kind of get to the point where, well, you know, should I Council's Judgment, get rid of the Arcanist? Should I play True-Name? And let's see what happens. And number 2, okay. Number 2 is not as bad because, I mean, you know, it's only going to use up so much of the stuff in the bin. That was a great draw, if you couldn't tell. So here, I feel if I played True-Name, they're probably not... Well, they might attack with 1, I'll kill it, and, you know, they can bolt me or whatever. But I feel like playing True-Name is going to at least stop the bleeding right now. You know, if I kill one of these, then they can still attack and bolt me. So I'm at 17, which is nice. I believe I decided to play the True-Name here. Awesome. Yep. As expected. It's as if I played this before. Anyway, skip through that. What do they got? Another land. And awesome. This is not a bad spot to be in, although it can get worse. Okay, so what I decided to do here, let's see, we got a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They know I have a Batterskull because I picked that up. I think I got really aggressive here. Yes, I did. I decided to attack. I'm like, all right, well, they can bolt me. That's fine. They can attack, so I'd be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, it would slow down because I can obviously Council's Judgment them. I didn't Council's here, although it was a possibility. Looking back, I probably should have then. And I'm certainly not playing a Batterskull into them not doing anything with, 3 cards in their hand that has, like, days all over it. Spell Pierce days, whatever it is. Now it gets even more interesting. I'm like, well, now that opens up to, creating more creatures. Okay, so I took the, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as expected. So I was cool with that. Creates a token, which means extra fun. Okay, I'm at 12. This is why, like, last turn I wish I had played, on that. But now I have a true name. Okay, now I have more difficult decisions to make. I can crack my fetch, get a plains, obviously, and then I can get rid of this dude. I figured getting rid of one of these guys wouldn't matter, because if they put something in the bin, they're just going to, probably attack just to use it again. So that didn't seem like it was going to be a great play. I can Council's Judgment the Pyromancer, or I can obviously play True Name. So I played True Name. Did I get aggressive again? I think I did. Yeah, I think I had a bone to pick with you. I just started attacking. I'm like, the repercussion isn't going to be that bad, because I figured they had like dazes in their hands, so there's nothing in the yard. If they attack with that, I can kill it. If they attack with that, I'm definitely killing it. Worst case scenario, I'm taking 1, 2, 3. And now I have them on a 2-turn clock, and I have a Council's Judgment. So I like the position I was in. It seemed aggressive, but doing the math, there's obviously risk to it, and I took that risk. So let's see if it paid off. Oh, Pyromancer numero dos, just to make my life that much better. Let's see. Here, I mean, they could have attacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have blocked that. I would have taken 1, 2, 3. I believe they chose not to attack. Looking back at it, that may or may not have been a great move. They're probably looking to get as much value out of their Pyromancers, so they didn't want to attack with that one. I only would have taken 3, but that's what happened there. Alright, so now we have even more decision. This is what I like about UR Delver, is that you certainly can't mess up. And if you mess up like big time, you're probably going to lose. So now keep in mind, like, let's see, if I attack with both of them, it's obviously a 2-turn clock, that's 12. But if I attack with both of them, I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7's not going to kill me, but if they get, a Ponder, a Brainstorm, if they get a Bolt, I'm dead. Okay, because they can Bolt me and then replay it. If they get any type of, cantrip, if you get a Ponder, Preordain, if they get a Brainstorm, they can dig for stuff, and then, cast that again, look for a Bolt. So I pretty much need them to draw air. I feel like me sitting around doing nothing isn't going to do that much. So I decided I'm pretty sure to get aggressive here. First and foremost, I played that to play a round like a Spell Pierce in a Daze, just so you know. And I didn't want to crack that, obviously, because life is very precious at this point. And I was correct. They had crap in their hand, but they were utilizing that to get some tokens, which is very smart from them, obviously. Good play on their side. Certainly. And daze number 2. So, like I said, playing around their dazes, once you get to the mid-game, it's going to be very helpful. Obviously, they have a crazy board state, and at this point, I'm pretty much just hoping that they don't, get something good. I'm not sure if it would have been more favored to attack first with both of them and then Council's Judgment. I'm not sure if that would give away enough information. It would be different if True Name was not, in the battlefield, because they can't block anyway. But so I'm risking it for the biscuit. It's UR Delver. They're fast. They need to draw, pretty much any cantrip is going to help. Obviously, a Bolt, Chain Lightning, whatever else they play. And they did not find it. So that was game number 1. Interesting game. A lot of games end up going like this. It was nice that it was in the draw, but either way, let's go to game 2, which you probably know what's going to happen, seeing there's game 3. Anywho, spoiler alert. Okay, so against any other deck, I would like it, but 1, I have no removal. 2 Polluted Delta would have to search for a Tundra if I got a removal. First turn Delver, what am I going to do against that? You know, there's not much going on. I'm pretty sure I mulligan this. Okay, good job. This I'm not liking that much either, but first and foremost, I hate mulliganing. There's just something about it. At least I'm on the draw, which is nice. But a nice little Brainstorm can really fix this hand. I wouldn't mind pondering first turn. If they want to daze that, that's fine, because I have a Brainstorm to go along with it. So I decided to keep this, and I probably got rid of, like, Delta. Okay, Island, whatever. There might be some merit to getting rid of Delta there, so just, you know, saving a life. And that was what I wanted to see. I didn't have any removal, so first turn I'm probably going to be pondering here. If they want to daze me, that's fine. Like I said, next turn I got Brainstorm, Fetch to really... doesn't do a whole lot with Snapcaster here, so let's ponder. And once again, you know, I'm not going to be able to play any of these. I'm tapped out. Ponder, I don't need a Ponder. I have a Brainstorm in my hand with some fetch lands. Oops, I'm clicking at any order. But yeah, I shuffled those, and I came up with a nice Flooded Strand. I'm certainly not going to get wastelanded out of this game. A nice wasteland. Arcanist. Pyromancer. Cool. Okay. Okay, so I'm playing Strand because if I want to fetch for a blue or a white, and now I'm going to Brainstorm. Aha. We have some good stuff. Hydroblast is awesome in this matchup, so pretty much here I don't want lands, so probably Delta Delta, and then I can fetch for a white there, and then a blue there, and then I can get 2 whites if I need. So Polluted and Polluted, yes. Okay, perfect. Now I can keep this up, you know, if I want to. I might Hydroblast something here. Like, these are the tough spots where it's like, you know, you got 1 mana up, you're playing into daze, but if they play something, like, you got to counter. Like, if they played a Dreadhorde there, would you counter it? It's tough to say. And I certainly didn't want to Hydroblast into daze. Like I said, I usually just play around that all day, every day. Unless I see their deck list and like, hey, I took them out. Fetching, because we don't want 2 more lands, obviously. Okay, Flusterstorm's not bad. So now I got some, you know, protection for, you know, what I want to get rid of. So here I Hydroblast because if I do it on their upkeep, they can cast like a Brainstorm. They can, you know, Spell Pierce back. They can daze. They can do other crazy stuff. So I'm pretty sure I just Hydroblasted here. Or maybe I didn't. Wow. Looking back, I probably should have Hydroblasted there. I'm not sure why I didn't, but maybe I wasn't all that threatened by the young Pyromancer. Well, okay, there goes that. I definitely should have Hydroblasted that. That's why I like going back and watching these, because a lot of times when you lose, you're like, oh man, my deck didn't perform. But when you go back and you're like, you know, you got a mana open, you have 2 mana to pay for Spell Pierce. I mean, you got Hydroblast, Flusterstorm backup. It's just... that would have saved me 1 damage, and they also wouldn't have created another token. So I think maybe I was more worried about Arcanist. That might have been that was probably my train of thought at the time. Now they have double Wasteland, that's fine. And here, yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think I was worried about them playing another Dreadhorde. That was the reason why I didn't do that, but that would have saved me 2 life and 1 less token. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, not the worst. Here I'm going to fetch for planes because we need some planes because we have 2 Council's Judgment in our deck. In case you're not familiar with my deck, I'll put my deck list, the one I was using, like somewhere near this video. Target myself, just kidding. Player. Or it's not targeting, it's choosing, right? Yeah, it's not even... you don't target the player, you just choose them. Good to know. And they finally got their other blue, their other red, which means some monkey business is going to be happening. I believe I countered this, because countering it wouldn't have been all that bad. I do have protection from daze, as always. And I have Flusterstorm. I can fluster their daze, I'm just kidding. Here I probably... okay, so I did. Now we have actually a really interesting decision. Looking at it right now, I'd probably pitch Counterspell because I have Snap Hydro, which, you know, isn't bad. And tough decision overall. I did go with Counterspell. Okay. Okay, and I do have the means to get rid of that as well. So this game's been pretty interesting. I feel like I said before, the Hydroblast here, I'm not sure if I pondered first. 1, 2, or Hydroblast. There, let's see, I guess I wanted to, let's see, play around double days, I guess, was my line of thought on that. I'm not sure why I did that, because if I go to fetch, then they can daze. Maybe, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have done that there, and I'm not sure why I got another island, because if I draw a Council's Judgment. Anyway, like, there's always stuff you can find in your game. That's why I like going back over these. So those were a few things to note. And we are getting rid of that guy. Okay, so if I hadn't cracked that, I would have 3 mana open. And then, like, let's see. If they go to daze, you know, I can fetch for that. Then I guess they could daze. That's a line. That might be the reason why I did that. And then we can play into daze here. I did bring a Rest in Peace against Dreadhorde. Never saw them. This was an interesting hand. I feel like this is what ultimately killed me. I think I kept this. So looking at it now, I'd probably put a Force of Will in my hand just so I can, you know, counter something if I needed to. So it would probably be in this position. So Snare on top, Peace on top, Force of Will on top of that. Looking back at it, I think I should shuffle. Okay, so that was that. Okay, that was not a good that was not a good keep. I can already go back and say, because like I can't do anything with Snare. If they play a Haymaker here, like you kind of gotta play into daze, because like if they play True-Name, like I'm pretty much gonna be boned, especially with only having 11 life. So looking back at that, the Force of Will was kind of helpful. Rest in Peace isn't doing anything against that, and with Spell Snare, I obviously can't play it now. And if they play a 2-drop, if they play True-Name, I'm gonna be in big trouble. So that was either a shuffle or keep the Force of Will. Okay, now they got to fetch land so they can get some goodies. See, there's a lot of very tiny, I'd guess I'd call mistakes, not huge ones, but there are all these little detrimental things that, you know, like fetching or not getting a planes there, or fetching too early when I didn't need to. Okay, see, this is where having Force of Will in my hand would have been extremely helpful, because if I force that, you know, they have days, so what? It's just something I got to deal with. There are going to be times where you kind of need to, you know, force and hope they don't have it. That would have been one of those times, and now I'm sitting there with a Rest in Peace and a Force of Will coming up, and at that moment I'm like, yep. So I wouldn't say this was... Yeah, I'm getting very aggressive. I attacked you because, you know, obviously I'm taking 3. By not attacking, they're just going to 3/3/3. You know, they got spells. I don't feel like that 1 damage is going to be do a lot. If I, you know, get a card that maybe can help me, which wouldn't be Council's Judgment because I fetched him properly there. But I feel taking that 1 extra damage. Sitting there, I was just going to die, and I knew I had Force of Will coming up, so I just went with it. I didn't play Rest in Peace because... I didn't want to show him that I had it, and there's no, what's it called, Dreadhorde. If you play a Dreadhorde, I could Spell Snare that. But aside from that, 6, 3, and 3 more. I could have Flusterstormed that just to make them pay, but I'd rather maybe have them think that I'm not playing Flusterstorm, so I did nothing. I lost, that's fine. Going back at it, like I said, there's a few obviously very, 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 very small details that I feel if those were polished up, probably could have won this. It would have been much closer. I'm not sure exactly how it would have played out, but just like I said, looking back at it, and they only had 1 card in their hand. Maybe it was a daze, maybe they shuffled away, I'm not sure, but just looking back at it, usually with this deck, you can actually go through and find ways why you lose. Sometimes it is the mana screw, which happens not all that much because the mana base is really great in this deck, specifically my build. And there's other times where, you know, like it's a combo deck, they just have it, there's nothing you can do. And that happens in Magic too. But overall, the better the player with Stoneblade, the better you're going to do, which is why I picked up this deck, because there's a lot to learn with it. I don't plan on playing anything else, although I I have Death and Taxes and Merfolk and Burn in paper. I used to like to just play against myself because I wasn't playing Magic Online. So anyway, all right. All right, first of all, can I look at sideboard? Yes, I can. Okay, so what I took out here, all right, here I took out Rest in Peace. I was like, I don't think I want to bring that in. That would have been better if it was like, Goyf, Dreadhorde, Renin 6. For this, just on Dreadhorde, I feel like I have other great ways of dealing with that. So I took out Volcanic Island. I took out Jace, and back to basics. I guess I took out 1 because I didn't have enough room. What I brought in for 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Let's see. So I brought in Path to Exile. I brought in Spell Snare. I brought in Hydroblast, and I brought in Flusterstorm. Those are the 4 cards I brought in. Okay, so anyway, looking at this hand on the play, this is probably like I couldn't have asked for a better hand. Seriously, I mean, we've got 3 mana, which means we can develop our mana base. We got a Brainstorm. I'm not going to even talk about this. You know it's good. We got obviously a Swords too, which is even better. Here, probably Polluted Delta or Island. I don't think it makes as big of a deal. It might actually. Let me think about this. So, because I'm definitely going to want to Swords on the second turn. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm just trying to think where that would matter with, not keeping my fetch up so I can use Brainstorm later, but I wouldn't do that into a Daze as well, so. Okay, perfect. Nothing. Okay, so here I'm going to place, not sword, here I'm going to play a Plains because the only thing I'm scared of is a creature. If they want to play like cantrips or whatever, that means that it would allow me to, Brainstorm and fetch, but I don't want to play a Stoneforge in the Daze, even though that would, bring in a island back. I don't want to play that game. So I believe I played a Plains here. Okay, yes. Because the creatures are what kill us. I can obviously, as it goes on, I can Brainstorm. I have a lot of good cards in my hand, aside from a Delta, which actually 4 lands is good when you have True-Name, so it'll give you some protection. So I didn't want to Brainstorm there, so I kept up the Plains for the Swords. Next turn I can play Stoneforge and then go from there. What you got? Alright, this is perfect. I'm pretty sure this deck plays Spell Pierce, right? I'm not that familiar with it. Spell Pierce may be a Flusterstorm on the side. This allows them to tap out. So now that, unless they have double, if they have double days, I will give them that. Okay. So here, I Swords. They thought about it. So they might have had a Force of Will. They might have not. I did have some great draws. I do have to say that in this game, as you'll see. But hey, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Take them when you do, take them when you don't. So what I'm going to do here is play True-Name Nemesis in the Daze. I'm just kidding. Play a fetch. Let's play Stoneforge. Now, they didn't want me to have that, and that's fine. But if they did want me to have it, there was some, either Batterskull or Jitte. Jitte can kill the Delver, and it can also minus the Dreadhorde, so that if you attack with it when it's on the stack, you can minus it and then block it and kill it, which is nice. I probably would have gotten Batterskull, just because it allows me to free up my mana. I can do stuff on their turn and then use it end turn. You don't have to worry about equipping it as well. Then they can bolt it, but that's just me as a player. I love doing like land go, see what they do, and then play some, instants, use Batterskull, whatever it's going to be. Awesome. This is what I like to see. So our third turn, they're pondering. That's great. And if they play a creature, I'm going to, crack this for a Tundra and plow it. I'm just kidding. That'd be like the worst play ever. That's exactly what I never want to do. Like I said, I drew some nice cards in this game, okay? That might have helped. Might have, okay? So here, Delta. Crack 1. Let's play True-Name. We are playing around Daze. Okay, Pyroblast. So they were on the draw, right? So they might have taken their Dazes out, but you know what? True-Name is such a beating against them. It's a hard card for them to deal with. This was a no-brainer for me to Hydroblast back. Obviously Island, we don't want Tundra. And awesome. So we're in a really good spot right now. We just played True-Name turn 4, right? A healthy 18 life. They're at 20, so right now we got 2 solid cards in our hand. We can always, gather up, make a great brainstorm. We can... That's not going to stick around, I'm sorry, for too long. I'm not playing that, okay? First and foremost, not playing this makes Brainstorm better. Second of all, they might have a Wasteland or 2, you never know, in their hand, just waiting to use it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to plow this right away. Plays around Spell Pierce, plays around Flusterstorm, plays around Daze. Perfect. Now we attack. And like I said, I'm not playing that. If it's a Plains, I still wouldn't have played it. Just because, like, if I get a Council's Judgment, then I can play Plains and that 1, 2, 3, and I'll still have 2 mana open for like Spell Pierce or Double Daze or something, depending on what that sneaky little blue-red Delver player is using. Fetching, fine. 18/18. Welcome to turn. Oh, not turn. Oh, now this is what I like to see. They're getting a desperation because True-Name's on them. They're giving them pressure. Now they got to start throwing it at me. That's fine. Certainly not going at the Stoneforge Mystic I don't have. Nothing. And like I said, if I get a Council's Judgment, now I'm still doing nothing. This is the time where I love Brainstorm. There was an article a long time ago where it says, like, one of the best things to do with Brainstorm is not use it. I don't need to use this because, one, I don't know what they have. I don't know what's in their hand exactly, although I'm going to guess it's like maybe a Wasteland or Daze or maybe another land. And I also don't have a fetch land, so getting Brainstorm locked here could lose me the game, so I just did nothing. And I feel that's probably one of the best plays you can do with Brainstorm. The most efficient plays because at least do it into response of something that they cast or so on and so forth. But no fetch land. I got a great card in my hand. Ability to cast it, too. They don't have hand disruption, so that I know of. And they're still doing nothing. Awesome. I'm telling you, it's a much, I wouldn't say easier, it's still a challenging matchup. That's fine, they can have it. I don't even want to Brainstorm in response. That I can play, I believe. Did I Brainstorm here? If I Brainstorm here, I probably didn't play the Plains right away. Here I was just talking about holding Brainstorm. Alright, I was getting a little antsy because now I actually do have more cards in my hand that I can get rid of. Plus, if I get another fetch, I can get rid of both of those. So I do have some cards I can get rid of. Oh, and look at that. Now we draw awesomeness. So this is going on the top. Now we have to decide what's going on top of that. So it's probably going to be Tundra, and I'm not going to be playing a Council's Judgment, so that would probably guess it would be that and that. I have a shuffle with my Stoneforge. This is the great part about Magic, where there's so many combinations. Let's see how I played it. So probably Tundra. I know I definitely did that. I probably wanted to play a land this turn, and I'm not going to be playing a Council's Judgment, so that probably went on top. Yes. Okay. See, now I have Snapcaster Swords, Snapcaster Hydro, Snapcaster Swords again, Spell Snare. Like, I have a lot of stuff going on. I didn't want to play my Stoneforge because I would shuffle away. So let's attack. That was funny. It's like, yeah, with Brainstorm, I just love doing nothing. And then there I go, Brainstorming next turn. At least there was more of a reason to do it then. So I'll give myself that defense. And I do have a shuffle effect. And being Brainstorm locked there with all those great cards, I'm not worried too much. Okay, so now they have one of these. But guess what I have on top of my deck? That's right. And we are still playing around the Lattice Off Permission. They need a Spell Pierce in the Daze. They need a Force and, something else. Unless they have a Force in their hand, they don't. Awesome. So now we still got protection from Dreadhorde. We got protection from Pyromancer. Delver, we can Snapcaster Plow. So obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, you don't know the verdict of the game yet, despite the fact that, yep, there's that. Okay, cool. Apparently they wanted that to happen. Okay, so I actually played that because I wanted to play around Flusterstorm, maybe? Was Flusterstorm a possibility? Let me think that out. So 1, 2, and then 3. So that would cost 1, 2, 3. Then I would have 3. Okay. Yeah, because if I didn't play that, I would only have 5 mana open. So it would cost 1, 2, 3 for Snapcaster Hydroblast. That means, yeah. Okay, that's the reason why I did it. There was a reason to my madness there. That is to play around Flusterstorm. So I'm actually tapping this because, you know, they're going to be using that. I believe I did. Okay, good. Because they can wasteland that. If they're going to wasteland it, I want to have mana that's up so I can threaten something else. Oh, I played that. Wow. Here I am talking about what I did. I was thinking that I just Snapcaster and, what's it called? Okay, that's fine too, I guess. And the reason actually I didn't do that, because this isn't a threat to me. You know, 3 turns are dead. I can block with that. I can bring in Batterskull next turn. All right, so that makes sense. I was thinking that actually Snapcaster, what's it called? That Hydro. That's fine. Sure. So they have 1 card. I could Snapcaster, what's it called? Plow, but that would be a 3-turn clock. I chose to do nothing, I believe. Like I said, I drew some nice cards this game. This here, I believe I just immediately pathed the Delver. And they conceded. Okay, so that was that. So, in case you didn't know, spoiler alert, I did win the third game. Third game of the match. Even looking back at it, there are still some very minute details that can be polished up and fixed. Maybe you saw something there that you might have changed, a different line of play, whatever it's going to be. Feel free to let me know. I'm always looking to improve as a player. But I hope you enjoyed that, and that was Stoneblade with a nice little splash of red against UR Delver, taking it down 2-1.